All right, guys. How many pounds of premium coffee beans should be mixed with 2 pounds of supreme coffee to make blend coffee? So, how many pounds of premium coffee means we do not know how much of this we have. So let's put an X there. We have 2 pounds of supreme coffee. So 2 pounds of this. And this is also a mystery. But at the end, we'll be mixing these two, so I'll know that the end result is X plus 2. Okay, so now let's set up this problem. So the first one is 11.75 X plus, or actually times 2, that's the one we know, times 2 plus 950X equals 10.00 is the same thing as 10, so I'm just going to write 10, X plus 2. And there we go. So then the setup is done. So then this is going to multiply. It's going to make 22 plus $1.50, so 23.50. 23.50 plus 950X equals distributive property 10X plus 20. Then we're going to subtract 950 from both sides and then 20 from both sides. So minus 20, gone, minus 20, and then minus 950, gone, X, minus 950, X. We're going to be left with 350 on this side. And this side, we're going to be left with 0.5X, or 0.50X, to be honest with you. Then we divide by 0.5 on both sides, and we get 7 equals X. So how many pounds of the premium do we need? We need 7 pounds of the premium. So, and the blend total will be 9 pounds. So you have to make a 9-pound batch when you use 2 pounds of supreme. All right, next thing is linear or nonlinear. Now, linear means that the same thing is happening to X every single time. So, a couple rules. You're allowed to multiply, you're allowed to add, you're allowed to subtract with X, but you're allowed to divide, but you're not allowed to have an exponent or a radical or have X end up at the bottom of the fraction. So this is already solved for Y, so we can clearly see that X is multiplying with 3 and is combining with 4, which is totally allowed. So this is linear. Same thing is happening to X every single time. No matter what number I put in here, it's going to multiply with 3, or negative 3, and then it's going to combine with 4. This one over here, it's not solved for Y, so it's not perfectly clear what's happening to X. So in this one, if you notice, okay, every time I put a number in, it changes what Y is. Okay, because if I put a 2 in here, it's going to be 2 times 6 minus 2 Y's. If I put a 3 in here, it's going to be 3 times 6 minus 3 Y's. So it's not the same thing every single time. So it's not linear. If you were to solve for Y, meaning move 6X to the other side, you're left with this. Then divide by X, negative X on both sides. You're left with 4 minus 6X divided by negative X. Now this will cancel, but then X will still be on the bottom under the 4. X is not allowed to be in the bottom of the fraction. So this is also not linear. So not linear. For that reason, not linear because the same thing is not occurring over and over again. So both of those reasons, it's definitely going to be nonlinear. For any of those two reasons, it'll be nonlinear. Okay, so let's find the X-intercept and the Y-intercept. When you're looking for the X-intercept, so we're looking for the X-intercept. If you're looking for the X-intercept, you make Y into 0. So now this will read 2X plus 4 times 0 equals 16. Well, 4 times 0 is 0. So 2X plus 0 is just 2X. Divide by 2 on both sides. X equals 8. So the X-intercept is 8. If I'm looking for the Y-intercept, I have to make X into 0. So now this is going to be 2 times 0 plus 4Y equals 16. 2 times 0 is 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 4Y is just 4Y. Divide by 4 on both sides, Y equals 4. So the Y-intercept is 4. Okay, Last thing we're going to be talking about is slope. Slope is the change in y divided by the change in x. So let's figure out what the change is. So how did a 0 turn into a 5? It went up, making it positive, up 5. So 5 goes on the top, because that's y goes on the top. Now x, -2 to 1. So -2 to 1 means I started on -2 and I went to 1. So I went up 3, which is a positive 3, and there's our slope. Let's do it again. So the change in x divided by the change in y. So -1 to 1, that's nothing. So it's a 0. -3 to 2, I went up 5. Now, when you have a slope, when you have a 0 on the top, the slope is 0. But remember, if the slope is on the top, it equals 0, but if it's on the bottom, it is undefined. And that is it.